Hey everybody, Chris and Mary Coase here, and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to tell you how you can get more students by thinking differently. Now, that might sound like a bunch of bull, but it's actually true. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can start thinking differently in order for you to get more students, more clients, earn more money, and most importantly, be a better teacher and get better results for your students. So it all starts with two words: process and system. Most teachers today think in the way of a process. They think in terms of one process that needs to be completed and repeated. And usually that process looks like this. They think, I need money. What am I going to do? And then they find a student, they teach a lesson, and they get money. And what happens next? Next, they repeat this process over and over and over again. They got paid, then they go try to find another student, they try to get money from that student, they got the money, they go find another student, get the money from that student. And so it's just around and around and around and around, and they can never really scale this because they think that this is the whole process. They think that this is the final process. They think that this is the only process that they need to focus on. Now, you might be thinking, well, no. Most teachers don't think like that. Most teachers think they get a student and they try to keep the student for a longer period of time, right? So yes, that's true. So we could actually break down, where's my eraser? We can actually break down this part, right? We could say the teach a lesson part, we could take this and separate it into a completely different section, and we could say that teaching a lesson can actually be separated into make the plan, right? So maybe it's an academic plan, like a curriculum. Then we need to create some material, right? And then we need to, let's see, what else? Then we need to actually deliver the lesson. Okay, deliver. And what else do we need to do here? All right, then maybe we need to follow up. We need to send homework, right? So let's say follow up. Great. And so now we can see that this process is a little more complicated. And we can see teach a lesson actually involves step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. And get money probably has other stages too, right? Like, for example, you need to have a method for people to be able to pay you. And that method needs to already be configured so that you have different price offerings or different product offerings. And depending on what they choose, they send you a different amount of money in a different way. And then some people don't have a card, you need to use PayPal. Some people don't have PayPal, you need to use a card. Or use another solution, right? So we can separate that down into multiple parts, right? Also, finding a student. This is the big issue for a lot of online teachers. And this can be broken down into a lot of different sections, right? We could say we need to do some promotion. Call that promo. We need to do ads. We need to do, some free videos on YouTube. Let's just say YouTube. Maybe you're using Facebook or Instagram or something else, and that could be here too. So you're doing all these things, but these are just generating interest. And where do they all go? So now we need to actually have the website, right? And then we might say, oh, well, if I'm going to have a website where people can find me, then that should also probably be the website where I can teach people, right? So maybe we also need to have a website here so we can set up what's inside of our product. So you can see that there could be lots and lots of different steps. And then we can break each of these steps down, right? We can say, okay, planning to teach a lesson. Depends on what type of lesson, depends on the level of the student, it depends on all of these different factors, right? So it's really easy for us to think in terms of a process that looks like this. It might be a big process with many sub parts, right? Many lower parts. Or it might be a simple process that looks like this. But what we need to do, if we want to find more students, if we want to make more money, if we want to be more successful, we need to think in terms of systems, not processes. You see, this is just one process inside of a bigger system. And this process should be connected to another process, right? So find student, teach lesson, get money. Well, we have lots of other systems connected to finding the student. So each of those parts that we broke down, it needs to have its own process. What is the process for making a YouTube video that attracts students, right? What is your process for that? And then you have steps there. And then one of those steps might actually have its own process. And how are those things connected? Because maybe you need someone else to help you with your social media. Maybe you need someone to help you with the ads part. We help with that. Or setting up your website. But maybe you need to find a person, but how will you be able to work with that person most effectively? You'll only be able to work with them most effectively if you understand the whole system that you're setting up. Because a person who's good with social media might also be good with video editing. And the person who's good with video editing might also be good at using video and images and text on a website. So they might be good at web design even. There's a lot of different ways, right? A person who knows some basic HTML coding might actually be able to help you use a website platform like WordPress or Wix or Kajabi or something like this to build something that's very, very good. And they don't have to be a professional programmer or coder. They might just know a little bit, and they might also do other work. So when we start to think in terms of systems, we can see how it's all connected. And the most important thing here that we haven't touched on yet is why systems thinking is different than process thinking. You might be thinking to yourself right now, Chris, you just basically used the same example for both, right? For process and for system. So what's really the difference? The difference is how they're going to react over time and how we plan for that, right? So if we take just our first stimulus, right? I need money that caused us to start going down this path and caused us to start using this process that we think should work and should keep working, right? So let's start here with our motivation. I need money. So let's imagine that it's not just one instance of I need money, right? You might say, I need money, and then you try this process and you find it, you get a little bit of money, and then you do it again and again, but then you find yourself really, really, really tired and worn out, and you're teaching all the time and you're getting a little bit of money for it, and it seems like it's not worth it, right? Sometimes it's like that. Hey, I love my students so much, but when you teach for 30 days, 60 days straight, you're worn out, you're tired, you can't keep doing it, you can't keep going like that. I know, I did it offline, I did it online, and luckily I found a way to get out of that quickly. So I need money. Let's imagine that that's not just a one-time occurrence. It happens every day. Every day you wake up, oh, I need money. The next day, I need money. A month later, a year later, I need money. Well, if that's the situation that you're in, if every day for a whole year and for the foreseeable future, you have this feeling and thought, I need money, well, a simple process like this isn't going to solve the whole problem. It's going to help you one time or several times in a short period of time, right? It's going to be a short-term solution. Systems thinking is about long-term solutions. Because if I need money today and I do this process at the end and I get this little bit of money, will that eliminate I need money tomorrow? No, that will not eliminate it. So this process is incomplete. It's not a final process. It doesn't solve the bigger issue here. It solves just one small problem of I need money now, not I need money in general. So how do we solve that problem? Well, if we always need money, let's test out this process and see if every day we can just keep doing it, right? Where does it break down? So what do we really need to fix here to make this a permanent solution? Well, find a student. Who is going to spend their time finding students? If it's only you, then that might be a good start to your business if you have other people to teach the lessons, to get the money, to do those parts. But eventually, you'll run out of time or you'll reach a limit, right? There's only so many students that you can find yourself. And so you'll have to learn some other strategy, like how to run Facebook ads or YouTube ads, Google ads, and all these other things, LinkedIn ads. You can run ads on lots of platforms these days, and it's actually a good way to start. And not in the very beginning. You have to have this system figured out. That's why in our Teaching Business Catalyst program, I give you a framework for setting this up according to your specific type of business. So finding a student, we might be talking about ads, we might be talking about promotion, we might be talking about a lot of different things. Each of those things takes a lot of time. So who's going to really be doing that? That's what you need to think about in your system. And then if you promote yourself every day, 8 hours a day, how long is it going to take for you to get burnt out? How long is it going to take for you to run out of groups and forums and blogs and other places for you to post and promote yourself? How fast are you going to run out of? It's going to happen super fast, especially if you're really working on it 8 hours. If that's your full-time job, right? You're going to run out of those resources very quickly. Or it's going to be harder for you to use the resources that you already found because the people who are in those groups where you could post and promote yourself, they start to cut back and they say, hey, guy, you're promoting yourself too much here, right? So you resort to paid ads and partnerships. You can partner with different people and maybe they have resources and they can put you in front of an audience, right? So you start doing that stuff. But again, it's all you. You're still working in the business, not on the business. So we can think of this part of the system as a challenge that we need to figure out. In the beginning, of course, it has to be you. It has to be you. You have to do it all yourself. But you should be thinking and planning, how am I going to get out of that? How am I going to find a solution where I just pay some money, I get some leads, these leads turn into more money than I paid, and thus I can keep paying to get leads, right? Because if I got more money, then I made a profit here. I can use that profit. I can reinvest in getting more leads. I can even control how many leads I get because maybe I don't have enough teachers yet. If I'm just working on this part of the business, then I'm going to accumulate 100, 200, 1,000 leads very, very quickly. And who's going to teach these people when I sell my product to them? Right? Now it's you again. In the very beginning, it's you again. So this is another place, like you should find other teachers. You should bring on assistants, hire teachers, hire other people who could teach or who could deal with these clients that you now have who are paying clients. And one thing that you can do is you can also automize how you teach, right? You could just record some videos and give that to your students. But probably you don't want to decrease the value of what you're presenting. And in your mind, you're thinking, well, only I can do it the best. I'm the best at presenting this. I know the best, right? But that's not true. Even if you're the best teacher in the world, you need other people to help you teach and to teach for you and to teach with you because there are different types of learners. And best teacher really depends on whichever student you're talking to, right? The best English teacher isn't necessarily going to be the best history teacher. And, we can continue to delineate different types of students from there. So teaching a lesson, this is the next. We could call this, for example, the sale of your product and the delivery of your product. And then this is the processing of the payment, how you technically handle this process. How are you going to do that in the beginning? In the beginning, you're probably going to have people send money to your bank account, or you're going to sign up for some online payment system like PayPal. So that's perfectly fine. And you can integrate those with your website, and it's not really difficult. If you're not very tech savvy, then you can get someone to help you with that relatively cheaply. And so you can really start to outsource these things, right? But then, how long is it going to take for those systems, those processes that are inside of these larger ones, how long is that all going to take so that you don't have this feeling and this thought that I need money every day, right? Every hour. Like that's what, that desperation that we feel to go get another student, to go try to drum up more business, right? When will that feeling go away that you have to hustle every second, every minute, every hour? Well, it goes away when you're confident in your system. That you know over time, you have a plan about how the changes that happen are going to work, right? So you can clearly see this future. You have a clear vision of what's supposed to happen. And finding a student, we talked about, you can outsource that to advertising and to other people, marketing people who can have the job of attracting people to you and to your business. And then you still have to sell. You can also hire a sales team for that. Then you teach a lesson, right? You can set up an academic team or a team of teachers, and you can handle all of these students. And then you can have maybe a head of your academics or a leader of your teacher team who is responsible for creating new curricula and creating new programs and personalizing each step of the way, if that's what you decide that you need in your business. And then with money, you can have a person who's a bookkeeper who makes sure that all of the numbers are right. You can export data from payment systems online, and you can use that to analyze how successful you are and predict what your revenue might be in the future. So each of these steps is really interconnected. And over time, you see them building and building and building. So when you're building a new piece of your process, think about the whole system and think about time. How will that compound over time? Finding a student. If I find a student every day, and that involves me contacting 100 people every day, how long is it going to take for that process to become very, very frustrating for me? Not long. If I have to teach a lesson or 5 lessons every day for 60 days, I'm going to be worn out and I'm going to hate my job, right? And if I have to count numbers every day and not actually teach anyone and not actually promote myself and not be in the front part of my business, then that's going to frustrate me too, right? So we have to figure out and plan the different ways that we're going to automize these things or outsource these things. So all of this we're doing so that we can meet this need long-term instead of short-term. Because solving this problem long-term means that you don't think anymore that tomorrow you won't have money, that tomorrow you will need money. Instead, you start thinking, oh, I need money a year from now, I need money 2 years from now, I need money 10 years from now, and I'm going to work today for that, right? And so you can choose. You can be comfortable, you can work comfortably, and there's no pressure that everything's going to go to hell right now. So I hope this little chat has helped you think about how things are interconnected and how you should be planning for the future of your teaching business, even if it's just you right now. It's really important because you can go from being just an independent teacher of any topic to having a full team of people representing your brand, selling your product, delivering your product, and loving every minute of it because you've created a great environment for them to work in. So you can definitely do that. You can bring on lots of people and have people attracted to you who want to help you achieve the mission that you're on in your business. It's not very difficult. I've done it a few times already. You can go over to my website and see what I've done, chrismarycoast.com. I also have applied this system to several other businesses that I've started, and I have co-founders in those businesses. So WeSpeakEnglish.com, we-speak-english.com, and we-speak-business.com. You can go see those websites. Those are good examples of how we've been able to use this system and expound on it, and it has compounded itself over time, and it continues to grow and grow and grow. You know, it's kind of like investing in the stock market. If you put $10 in the stock market now and you take it out tomorrow, you're going to have about $10, hopefully. But if you put in $10 and then you wait 100 years, you know, because everyone lives to 100, right? Or 120, or however old you are right now, plus 100. If we let time compound that $10, then it's going to grow significantly over that time. So you won't see it in the first few years, right? You'll only see the really major growth 5 years, 10 years later. And your teaching business is the same way. In the first year of your teaching business, you're going to be hustling, struggling, pushing. But as long as you have that clear vision of the future, you'll know that your daily actions are moving towards something, that you're building on top of something. You're creating a foundation, and then you'll always be able to refer back to this. So it's like a safety net for you, especially if we're talking about this problem. So I know this video is kind of long and dragged out. I just wanted to share these thoughts with you because I thought some of you who watch this channel or watch these videos with me might be interested to learn about that and to hear about how we should approach these different processes in our business. There's not going to be just one process that we need to remember. There's going to be lots and lots of different processes that all combine. They're all interconnected. It's like physics. It really is like physics. And that's why I've created the program, the Teaching Business Catalyst, which is a catalyst that helps teachers either start or grow their business. So if you're interested in that, come over to our website, teaching-revolution.com, and sign up for our free basic training where I'm going to present a lot more stuff like this, actually more details with more downloads and stuff that you can use to really get your business started. And after that, if you're interested in working with me and using my framework for growing a business that compounds long-term over time so that you can have something that's really significant to show a year from now, 2 years from now, and start getting sales as soon as 2 weeks from now, then go ahead and come over and join our free basic training, and I'll be happy to speak with you if you need my help after that. All right? Thanks a lot for watching this video, and I will see everybody next time. Bye-bye.